Everybody, we're going to be starting in 1 second. Okay, a couple of things about this webinar. You're currently in listening mode only. You should be able to hear me. This session is actually pre-recorded, but we are here live. We will answer your questions throughout the webinar through the chat function. So go ahead and do that if you like. Okay, so welcome. My name is Danilo Bonilla. I'm one of the advisors at the International Education Office. And here we have two more people to help us with this webinar. And if you can quickly introduce yourselves.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew Bottom. I am your Associate Director for the UCLA Global Internship Program at the International Education Office.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leonardo. I go by Leo. I am an advisor here with the School of Engineering, and we're happy to have you here.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera. Let's see. So this is the agenda for today. Again, a warm welcome from the UCLA International Education Office. On bullet number 2, we will be going over the Study Abroad 101 refreshers. The third bullet will be basically how to study abroad in engineering. And then the third item would be sample countries, programs, and coursework. And like I mentioned earlier, you do have the chance to currently type in your questions, and we will get to them in order throughout the whole webinar. Okay, who we are. The UCLA International Education Office is located in Murphy Hall, room 1332 on the first floor. And we are the one-stop shop for all study abroad opportunities. Whether you're interested in a summer program, fall, winter, spring, or the whole year to do an internship or to do actual study abroad, we are here to help you. We have many advisors and many coordinators with expertise in different regions. The other item that we help you with is to connect you with returning students. We also have international students that come here every year, and we will connect you with them as well. So definitely take a look at our website, which is the UCLA International Education website. This week, we are very excited because it is GLOW, the Global Learning Opportunities Week. And all that information and the webinars will be on this specific website that you see here on this slide. Okay, so the International Education Office, altogether, we go to 45 different countries around the world. And we have more than 200 programs, again, throughout the world, whether it be universities or study centers or specialized institutions. So a lot to choose from. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over these Study Abroad 101 refreshers. Okay, so hopefully you got a chance to see the Study Abroad 101 webinar. And if you didn't, please go to our website and you can take a look at that. But basically what was covered in that webinar, which is basically 1 hour long, it was basically information about program types, credit transfer, the cost and funding of programs, the application process, and the timeline. So it was very, very specific. So make sure that you see that. And what is covered specifically in this webinar is, it's basically a webinar dedicated to engineering students, how to study abroad as an engineer. And we will go over the petitioning process. And again, we'll give you some a list of some countries, programs, and coursework that is feasible for engineering students. And again, questions and answers throughout this whole webinar. Okay, program types. So there are many program types. The first one that I would like to talk about is it's called University Immersion Program. And that's the program where you study at one of our partner universities. It's a local university with local students, local professors. It's a full immersive and integrative experience. Summer programs, fall semester, year-long program. So that's immersion program. The other program that is very popular is the UCLA faculty-led programs, and those are short-term programs during the summer only, and they're very experiential type of courses on the go with UCLA professors, mostly UCLA students, but it's actually open to anybody in the US as long as they're 18 and over. The other type of program is very specific. It's a program that focuses on internships abroad or research abroad. And you're actually not getting paid for the internship, but you are getting academic credit. So again, very exciting models and types of programs. So financial aid, yes, you can use your financial aid while going abroad, whether you go for summer, fall, winter, or spring. Just make sure that you apply for FAFSA every year by the deadline, which is usually March 2nd. And yes, there are scholarships available, so please take a look at the UCLA International Education website, and you can start applying for those independent scholarships in a couple of months. So when to apply. For most programs, you do have to apply roughly 9 months before the program starts, but the deadlines do vary quite a bit. And is it competitive? Generally, no, but there are some programs that have limited space because the organization or the actual university might be small or it's very specialized. But the vast majority of programs, there is plenty of space. But again, keep in mind, first come, first serve for some of them, and that will be on our specifically on our website. The other thing is, when can you apply, register? So if you're interested in summer or fall programs, you would need to wait until basically the middle of October, November to apply.
All right, thank you so much, Danilo, for those refreshers. And now we're gonna focus the presentation more on engineering majors specifically. So talking a little bit about when you might want to study abroad as an engineering major, credit transfer, the petitioning process, as well as sample programs. So one thing that we like to mention to students in general is that you're not required to study within your major. So you're not obligated to only take courses that are going to apply to your engineering degree. A lot of times students will take courses abroad for their GEs, their minor, foreign language, personal or professional development, and are still able to make progress towards their degree. So it's important to note that you can still study abroad even if it's not specifically taking engineering courses. Most programs are not designed around any particular major. So just make sure you're trying to expand horizons when you're thinking about studying abroad, and talking specifically with your engineering academic advisor to make sure that it fits within your study plan. So I think that's the biggest thing we want to make note of, is that you do have a advising team both at IEO, at our office, and at your academic department that we're here to support you and make sure that your study abroad experience fits within your study plan. But if you do want to study abroad within your engineering major, we do want to give you a few recommendations. And so I'm going to bring on Leo here to talk a little bit about the easiest time to study abroad.
All right, thank you. So when it comes to studying abroad, you might be thinking, when might I do this, and when am I going to be eligible? So those conversations are going to be best had between our different offices here. So I'm representing the Office of Academic Affairs for the School of Engineering, and we have various advisors here who you have access to. It could be with your major advisor, or it could be with one of us. It doesn't necessarily matter. The important thing is that you start this conversation, trying to figure out what exactly it is that you want to do and what type of experience you want to get out of this study abroad experience. So when it comes to kind of matching that, for most students, it's going to be during the summer. So for engineering majors, your expectation is to be going fall, winter, spring, but not summer. There's no expectation for you to complete any coursework during the summertime. So this is why it's one of the more spoken about quarters, where and really it's just a summer session. So if you are able to find a way to kind of either take courses that are on the GE side, on the prep side, so that would be your math, your physics, your chem. These are going to be good courses that are going to be easier to get either approved, to find. Something very important that I come across looking at course evaluations is the fact that some courses are going to be easier to match. What I mean by that is, so for example, for your GEs, you won't necessarily need to find an equivalent course at UCLA for it to get approved. But for math, physics, and chem, that will be the case. So what we're asking is making sure that we have that enough time. So when you look at what courses you want to take, to make sure those courses are equivalent to UCLA. But those are things that we can discuss along down the road. So I want to go ahead and get to the next slide, please. So for bioengineering majors, chemical engineers, civil, over here we have pretty much kind of the general guidelines, all pretty much the same. So you might be looking at either your first, your second, your third year. Third year can be a little bit more complicated. So I kind of want to differentiate, and this will be true for all majors. So what is the difference between your first two and then compared to your second and third year? So the first 2 years are going to be your prep courses. So that's going to include your physics, your chem, and your math. When you move on to your third year, you're going to be starting your upper division, major elective, and major requirements. And so that's going to be looking like, for example, chemical engineering 100, or electrical engineering 100, or courses that are similar in nature, such as civil and environmental engineering 103. These courses can be found abroad, but it's going to take a little bit more effort to find the course and make sure that it is available. And that is something that's going to be kind of key to when you're applying, and something I'll mention in a little bit. Now, the easiest thing is going to be just looking at GEs, and you can submit your course eval, your lower division prep, and then, of course, if you are interested, which students are, your upper division coursework, which you could manage, but I would highly encourage you, if you were to take just the upper division route, to meet with an academic advisor in the Office of Academic and Student Affairs, because we want to make sure that you're not only just taking these classes and getting credit for it, but not missing out on classes that are a must for that quarter. So when we look at, for example, chemical, their third year, those courses that you're taking in your fall of third year are courses that are only offered in that quarter. And so this is where things get a little bit more complicated. So you're taking courses like Chemie 100, 101A, 109. Those are all courses that must be taken that year, with exception of 100 could be taken in fall of your second year. And so what I'm trying to say is, in the chemical engineering major, and this could be true for other majors as well, is that if you don't take those courses during that quarter, you might delay your graduation by 1 year. So I just want to make sure that when you're thinking of studying abroad, we want to have that conversation. There's homework that you have to do on your part, but you have people who can help you figure out the rest. So the homework that you'll be doing is why you want to study abroad, where you want to go, and what you want to study, right? And we'll work with you to figure out what it is you want to do in combination with what is required of you at UCLA and what you would like to do, and what's the best match. So next slide, please. For CS and computer engineering, those type of courses, it could be suitable to take them third and fourth year, but again, I would caution to meet with an academic advisor in the Student of Academic and Student Affairs. Very important. But for electrical materials and mechanical and aerospace engineering, those might be best before third year. And what classes, I will repeat, are going to be your GEs, as well as your prep work, which is going to be your math, your chem, your physics. So those are the time that you might want to arrange that. So now, as I keep repeating myself here, I just want to make one thing clear. The focus is more on what your interests are. Then you come to us, we figure out what are the requirements that you need to fulfill, and we can kind of find a match. We don't want to overwhelm you with all this information and kind of scare you away. We want to make sure that you know that there's different ways to kind of go abroad, and different ways to use your major. So I've seen, for example, for civil students who are interested in hydrology, they want to go to, say, somewhere in Europe, and specifically looking at the Netherlands and how their they're managing their water, and so they're avoiding, for example, different like storms and managing the water sources there and trying to avoid that. So yeah, we can keep going on to that. I would rather have that conversation in person. So let's go on to the next slide. And then the course evals here. So one last thing, super important. We're going to be talking about different programs that UCLA offers and different ways that you can make sure you get credit, meaning that the coursework that you take is transferable. But when it comes to the engineering process to making sure that you meet a requirement towards graduation, we have this course evaluation process specifically for engineers. And so we want to go onto this website, listed on this slide here, and downwards, you'll notice that we have different tabs. And on those tabs, you'll have frequently asked questions that can answer things like, why would you submit a course and how you will get credit, things like that. If you're confused, on the same page, just below the course eval form button, you'll see Message Center. This will lead you to the Message Center queue. So think of a queue as a mailbox. Do you say it has many mailboxes? You want to send your message to the right one. This would be the right queue. So this is how you're going to be able to kind of get your questions the fastest and most direct from the School of Engineering. So when you're looking at coursework, you want to make sure that your GEs, your major prep, or your major upper division courses that you may take are all equivalent or that you will get approved to take. So in the case of GEs, remember, they do not have to be equivalent. In the case of everything else, they do have to be equivalent for you to meet a major requirement for your degree. Okay, so very simple, but can take some time. GEs generally take 1 to 2 weeks. Everything else can take a little bit longer. So some students also decide to do their tech breath abroad. Tech breaths tend to be a little bit more flexible as well. So for those, they'll generally get approved by the dean. And for everything else, so we have GEs approved by the office, tech breaths approved by the associate dean, and then everything else that has to do with upper division or even a lower division major coursework is going to be approved by UCLA faculty. And so that can take a little bit more time, which I recommend well in advance, over a month. I would even do 3 or 4 months in advance to make sure that you know that you're going to get credit towards your major well in advance before you take the course. We do have students frequently who decide to do the review process request afterwards or even during, and sometimes those courses are not approved. And so we want to make sure that you are using your time wisely. We don't want to waste your time either. So just kind of work with us to figure out when that process is, okay? So for that last slide, one second, that last credit, we can double check. There shouldn't necessarily be a 5-course limitation towards major requirements. It will depend on you individually. And that's something that you should talk to us about and make sure if you're going to kind of lean into doing more, it does, it will be on an individual basis. So thank you very much. And we'll move on to the next slide.
So at this point, the UCLA International Education Office will show you some programs, some sample programs. Okay, I'm going to first start with UCEAP, the University of California Education Abroad Program, and there are options for summer, fall, winter, spring, or year. Okay, if you look at the UCEAP website, which is listed here in blue, and you do a search by field, you will notice that there are, and you put engineering, you will notice that 57 programs are suggested. And so, and these programs are in different locations around the world. So please use this search engine to help you narrow down your choices. Okay, one of the suggested areas, countries would be Australia, in the great city of Sydney, in the southwest, basically, southeast. And the university is the new University of New South Wales. And here you see a listing of courses that students have taken in the past. Most of these courses have been upper division in the past. Most of them have been about 4 to 5 units. So again, a great sample of a great university in Australia. And this one, yes, you can go for fall semester or spring semester or for the whole year. And one highlight is that this university is big on research. So when you are there, you can try to arrange an on-site and do some research opportunities. Okay, another great country is Sweden. The university is in the south, and it's called Lund University. And again, this one you can go for fall semester, spring, or the whole year. And this Lund is a great college town, very easy to meet people, get around, and you don't need to know Swedish. Courses are actually taught in English, so that's a great option. And as you can see here from the listing, again, a great listing of courses from enzyme technology to mechanical vibrations. Again, just a quick sample of what students have taken in the past. That has been usually upper division. That has been usually about 4 or 5 units each. Okay, another great small country, Singapore. It's basically a large island. National University of Singapore. And yes, obviously courses are in English. That's the official language. Another highlight is that it is a great opportunity if you want to be involved with internships. So that's arranged on site. And Singapore, as you may know, is a hub for Southeast Asia. It's a great country to be in if you want to travel to other parts of Asia. And as you can see here, again, upper division courses that students have taken, fluid mechanics, soil mechanics. Again, usually in the past, they've been upper division, about 4 to 5 units each. Okay, another great country is South Korea, the beautiful city of Seoul, Seoul National University. One of the highlights there is also that you can take classes in English, great food, great culture, a lot of energy in the city and the university. And again, you have a listing of places or the listing of courses that you can take: data mining, deep learning, mechanical behavior of materials. Again, upper division courses that students have taken in the past, 4 to 5 units each. And you can go for fall semester, spring semester, or the whole year. Okay, the last one that I'm going to present is in the United Kingdom, in Scotland, the great University of Edinburgh. And this one, again, you can do fall semester, spring semester, or the whole year. Highlights, again, a great university, well-known, prestigious university, great college town, easy to travel to other places in Europe. And again, another great listing of classes that are available there that students have taken in the past. And soil processing, separation process. So again, another great option.
Thank you, Danilo. Now we're going to move on to talk about the UCLA Global Internship Program. So the Global Internship Program is a great opportunity to conduct an 8-week internship abroad during the summer. During the internship, you'll increase your industry knowledge, you'll build a global network, you'll earn UCLA credit to satisfy some of your degree requirements, or I wouldn't say degree requirements, but credits towards graduation, financial aid eligible, as well as the internships, I already mentioned, are academic in nature. So talking a little bit about the specific locations for engineering students, we do have 3 on-site locations as well as virtual opportunities. So we have a program in Bali, Indonesia, a program in Berlin, Germany, as well as Osaka and Kyoto, Japan. And then we also have a virtual engineering internship program. So these again happen during the summer and again include an 8-week experience of your internship, which is during summer session A, which would be mid-June through mid-August. The academics for the program follow the summer session A10 calendar. So they're 10 weeks long, so a little bit longer than the actual internship itself. Everyone that participates in this program is required to take the Engineering 195 internship course for 4 units. Additionally, students are able to take CESC 130, which is Intercultural Communication in the Global Workplace. This is an optional course that does satisfy the Social Analysis GE for engineering students, as well as upper division units for the Engineering 195 course. You can always consult with your academic advisors for more questions about the coursework. The applications for the Global Internship Program will go live October 23rd through November 27th. It is important to note this is a competitive program, so you do apply anytime during the application window, and then your applications are reviewed and you will receive notification in January whether you've been accepted into the program. Additionally, we also have our UCLA Travel Study program. So as Danilo had mentioned earlier on the presentation, we do have faculty-led programs here at UCLA. These are programs that occur also in the summer, usually about 3 to 5 weeks long, and allow you to earn UCLA credit towards your degree. We have over 17 programs around the world. And the really unique part about these programs is that you are with, again, a UCLA faculty member. You're with a network of other UCLA students or UC students abroad, and there is financial aid opportunities as well for this program. And the application will be opening November 16th for summer programs. So there's not a UCLA engineering specific faculty-led program this upcoming summer, but again, as Leo was talking about, you can search for different faculty-led programs and then talk with your academic advisor to see whether the coursework could apply to any of your GEs. As we close today's session, again, make sure to put any questions you still have in the chat before we go. I just wanted to make sure that if you do have additional follow-up questions, you can reach out to the UCLA Engineering Office of Academic and Student Affairs through the Message Center. We also have the website listed here, and the office is located in 6426 Bolter Hall. For the UCLA International Education Office, we are located in 1332 Murphy Hall. We do have virtual advising hours for drop-in advising and one-on-one advising. We also have staff at our front desk as well. If you have questions while you are in Murphy Hall, you can always talk to us there, or email or send us a message on Message Center. If you would like more information about any of our UCLA International Education Study Abroad programs, feel free to sign up for our listserv. You can see the QR code here on the screen. We'd be happy to communicate to you any upcoming deadlines and dates after the presentation is completed. And we just want to thank you so much for coming today. We were really excited to share with you the opportunities for engineering students to study abroad. Again, we're here to support you both in terms of the International Education Office as well as the School of Engineering. So please feel free to contact us at any time so we can help you plan out your study abroad experience for the future. So thank you so much, and we'll be in touch.